Hello and welcome to our video. Today I'm going to talk to you about homeschooling curriculum for the kindergartners. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Kathy and I'm a homeschooling mom of 5 kids. Been homeschooling over 25 years. I love to say that, but then that makes me old, so oh well, whatever. So I remember over 25 years ago when I was starting out homeschooling, I had no idea what I was doing, and I was so nervous and scared, and oh, I need some curriculum or some things to do, and oh dear, well, I gotta teach them to read, and that was my big panic thing. Can I do it? And I just want to tell you that yes, you can. And one of the best things you can do is not stress about it. And I'm a firm believer now, after my years of experience, in taking your time to teach them and not worrying that they can't read the chapter books by 4 years old or whatever, by 5. It's okay to wait and delay that formal education until they're 6 or 7, like they do in Finland, and they have very happy children in Finland. So I think that might be a good idea for us, is just to take our time. So as you begin your homeschooling journey, one of the biggest things I want you to do is to read to your children all day long. Well, not all day, but when they get up in the morning, you read to them a book, and at lunchtime you read to them, at night you read to them, and Dad reads to them. And then they need to know that reading is fun, so your kids need to be watching you reading, and everybody else in the family is, oh, everybody gets to sit tonight, we're going to all read our books, and they just need to love it so much that they're going to be like my oldest child. I'll never forget, she goes to bed, some kids go to bed with their stuffed animals. She went to bed with 20 books all spread around her because she just loved books. And so you're creating that love of literature. They're seeing that print means something, and they're learning that reading is going to be great and exciting. So when you're ready to teach them, they'll be ready to learn. So how do you teach them? Well, one of my favorite methods is using the plastic alphabet letters that you can get at Walmart or Kmart or just, wherever. And you put them on maybe a cookie sheet, and you move them around and say, this is a B, and a B says B, and a D says D, and a T says T. So you're teaching them the sounds that the letters make. And then once they learn that, you put that T, A, T, that's not even a word, whatever, tat, together. Okay, let's do C. C, A, T. Remember what a C says? K, k, at, k, at. Let's say that fast. And you teach them how to say that, and you teach them reading using magnetic letters. Now, if you want a curriculum and you just need a security of that, then a pretty simple book to use is called Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And I'll make sure I note that down in my notes so that you can know where you can find that book. But Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, it actually tells you, teach them this letter first, here's what you say, here's how you do it. It's very scripted and easy to use. I just want to caution you though, don't say, come on, it's time for our reading lesson, and we're gonna do this. At this young age, let's let them say, Mom, can you teach me something? And then, oh, fine, if you're good, I'll let you learn how to read, whatever. That kind of a thing. You want to establish that reading is fun and it's enjoyable. Now, if you want them to have a workbook, I suggest going to the dollar store and just getting a nice simple workbook there, and they will love it. When they're in kindergarten, they love workbooks. But I don't really think they need to do a whole lot of writing when they're young. Wait until they've developed those fine motor skills and they're just a little bit older, and then I think you'll have a happier child. But if you do want them to do a little bit of writing or fun phonics work, there's a book called Explode the Code. You can get pretty cheaply. I think it's like $6. They have ones that even come before that, Get Ready for the Code, but they're phonics books, and you're going to help them. That would be for fun if they just want to practice doing phonics work in those workbooks. So two very cheap methods, two very cheap curriculums for teaching them how to read, and you don't need a whole lot. A library card is mainly what you need. You go to that library and you get as many books as you can and you read them all. Try not to get any library fines because, well, actually that might be how they make the money, so you go ahead and make the fines too. Okay, so now that's reading and language arts. Language arts, really you just want a little bit of writing, not very much at all. Another great idea is an ABC book, where you can just focus on a letter a week and focus on what those letter sounds make, maybe print some pictures off on the computer so you have tabs A, B, C, all the way to Z, and okay, what you're focusing on B, oh, ball, and you write that word or draw that picture behind the letter B, and so now they have their own ABC book. I love ABC books, but they'll have their own. If you want another good curriculum or simple books for them to read, nice and small, are the Bob books. So you can get those sometimes used or get them at the library or Costco, but they're small and easy for them to hold, and that's just another simple, inexpensive thing to do for kindergarten. I really want to caution you about spending money because you don't need to. To teach them how to read, you really don't need to. I think I taught my oldest daughter to read using a stick in the sand, you know, drawing in the dirt and the alphabet letters, and that's kind of how we got started. And of course we read to them all the time, but you can do that too. All right, so now let's move on to math. In this video, I'm only talking to you about language arts and math. I'm going to make another one for science and social studies, which are so fun. But now let's go back to math. Okay, math was fun too. So for math, again, I don't like any formal workbook stuff yet, if you can help it. If you want formal, I'm going to be talking about math curriculum in another video and making some suggestions there. But for math, right at this stage, you want them to learn to count. They probably already learned to count to 10 when they were 3. And you want them to learn that a 3 is the symbol 3 means 1, 2, 3 objects, and so you're teaching them this symbol means that. So you have rocks, you have them count them, they point to the 3, or it might be a good idea to have a hundreds chart up on your wall so they just kind of see the numbers, and so you're going to teach them one-to-one correspondence. That means if you have 3 rocks, or here, 2 rocks, and you can go 1, 2, and they know that that's 2, and then they can find the symbol that represents 2, that represents those rocks. You can do that without a workbook. If you want a workbook, go to the dollar store, but you don't need one. At this stage, you're going to focus on shapes and colors. Sorry about the train. Oh well. Shapes and colors. You can teach them the colors of the sign: red, blue, green, yellow, black, brown. Okay, so you can teach them the shapes and colors. A great thing to do for kindergarten math is to take them into that kitchen and have them cooking with you. You're going to measure teaspoons and not any formal teaching. You're saying, oh, give me a tablespoon of this or a teaspoon of that, and they're going to learn how to you know, make macaroni and cheese and measure out things, because that's definitely math skills. They're going to learn following directions. That's math skills. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and you're going to teach them that kind of thing through cooking or maybe through chores. Okay, step 1, and they go, oh, another thing is first, second, third. You know, that's teaching them those kinds of words. Some kids need to be taught that. Your kids are probably already going to get that just by spending time with you. But anyways, math, I want them to be playing games with you. Crazy Eights, where they're matching, or Old Maid, or even Candyland, you know, where you roll the dice and you have to move the same amount or whatever it is. Playing games, you'll be surprised how much kids learn through playing games. It's a very great way to learn math skills, and easy. So another thing to do is when you're driving in the car saying, oh, look, I see 2 cars over there and there's 1 over there. How many cars altogether is that? and you're teaching them the vocabulary of addition or the vocabulary of takeaway. You had 2 cookies and I ate 1. Now how many do you have? That kind of a thing. So just by being with your kids all day, reading to them, playing games, having those shared experiences, your kids are going to be fabulous at the end of the year in kindergarten, and they're not going to be stressed out, and they're going to love school. So